Labour erupt. Rayner erupts as Andrew Neil drops bombshell on live TV turning point for Labour. Rayner, the deputy leader of the Labour Party, found herself in hot water during a live television interview with veteran journalist Andrew Neil. In what was billed as a standard discussion on Labour's economic policies, the exchange quickly devolved into a tense showdown that exposed significant gaps in Labour's financial strategy and in Rayner's ability to defend it. The trouble began when Neil questioned Labour's stance on taxation, specifically whether the party would reverse cuts to corporation tax, inheritance tax, and capital gains tax. Rayner's responses were vague and evasive. "I think that the cuts on corporation tax are missing the point because we need that money," Rayner said. But when Neil pressed her repeatedly, "Would you reverse the cuts?" she failed to provide a direct answer. Her attempt to pivot away from specifics only made matters worse. Rayner insisted that the Conservative government had given tax cuts to the richest in the country, but was unable to explain how Labour would claw back this lost revenue. When asked again about reversing cuts to capital gains tax, she mistakenly claimed the cuts occurred under the current government, when in fact, they were part of the earlier coalition government. The inability to clearly articulate Labour's policy positions raised alarm bells. Neil, known for his unflinching interview style, seized the moment to dig deeper. Rayner's confidence visibly faltered as she struggled with fundamental questions about tax rates and revenue projections. This wasn't just a minor misstep. It was a glaring factual error that significantly weakened Labour's credibility on economic matters. Rayner's repeated interruptions and insistence that our priorities are public services failed to mask the lack of a coherent economic argument. Just when viewers thought the worst was over, Neil introduced another politically sensitive issue: Labour's pledge to build 1.5 million homes. On the surface, it sounds like an ambitious plan to address the UK's housing crisis. But Neil wasn't buying it, and neither were industry experts. Rayner spoke passionately about mandatory housing targets, but when questioned on land availability, infrastructure readiness, and the workforce required to achieve such a goal, her answers fell flat. She brushed aside legitimate concerns and stuck to broad, non-committal talking points. Neil brought up immigration figures, pointing out that rising population numbers due to immigration would offset any gains made by Labour's housing plans. This caught Rayner entirely off guard. Her inability to reconcile immigration trends with housing demands was painfully apparent. Social media exploded in the aftermath. Viewers were stunned not just by the gaps in Rayner's knowledge, but by what many saw as Labour's broader failure to prepare for serious policy scrutiny. Political commentators called the interview a disaster, with some questioning whether Labour was truly ready to govern. If she couldn't answer basic economic questions, one user tweeted, "How can we trust her, or Labour, to run the country?" The interview also sparked concern among moderate voters who had been warming up to Labour in recent months. Many were left wondering whether the party's promises were more about appealing headlines than achievable goals. Neil's interview with Rayner did more than just reveal a poor performance, it exposed deeper issues within Labour's policy framework. The lack of clarity on taxation, the fuzzy math behind housing proposals, and the unwillingness to address the implications of immigration all suggest a party that has not yet fully grappled with the complexities of governance.